Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to Midnight Ministries Bonfire Church. This is a special episode this evening. We just want to take a few minutes. This is not going to be a full podcast, but we want to take a few minutes and recognize tomorrow is November 10th, Marine Corps' birthday. You have all Marines sitting around this table this evening. So 249 glorious years of service to the country and to the world. And then also on Monday, the 11th of November.
I want to note that the Marine Corps only did 229 of those years, or 224 of those years without us.
True. Most of them, all the important ones, we were there.
Right, we were there for the 20 most important.
All of the ones that were most important were under our care.
Right, but along with that, what comes the next day? Of course, we have to look at our brother and sister services after we have to celebrate ours first.
Right.
Yes. We got to get our birthday out of the way, and then we have coming up Monday Veterans Day, where we honor and respect all Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Space Force.
And Space Force, especially Space Force. Yes. No, we love you guys. We're just kidding. Happy Veterans Day, and thank you all for your service.
Absolutely.
It is essential for the security and the well-being of our country. So we do want to recognize you and the Marines that served. And I just did a message on Friday night and talked about self-righteousness. So please understand that this is in jest, the things that we were just talking about. We are not self-righteous to be
at all.
We just wanted to recognize all the contributions that you guys make. And having been there beside you, chewing on some of the same dirt in some form or another, we're with you still in spirit. So thank you for all that you do. This evening, we want to recognize something, the next step, right? So we recognize the service members, we recognize the Marines and their birthday, and we recognize Christ and his command for us as Christians to go forth and spread the good word and to follow him. But what is it to be a Christian? Like in the Marine Corps, we've got honor, courage, and commitment.
Right.
We've got JJ did tie buckle. We've got all the things that drive
general
us.
Orders.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So what is it that drives a Christian? Not just we're civilians now. We're Christians. We are Christ-like in our walk. And what are the true marks, or the marks of a true Christian? That's what we want to talk about tonight. Real quick, give you about 10 minutes of quick word after a blessing to all those who serve. So we've got Brad with us tonight. He is a member of All In Discipleship Group from Living Hope and Community Church in Jacksonville. So, Brad, you want to read us our scripture for tonight?
Yeah, sure. So what we're going to read through, it's book of Romans and chapter 12. We're going to go through verses 9 through 11. Again, the title of this section being Marks of a True Christian. So starting in verse 9. Let love be genuine. Abhor what is evil. Hold fast to what is good. Love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. Do not be slothful in zeal. Be fervent in spirit. Serve the Lord.
And that screams a lot of things straight from the recruit training mentality.
What you mean? Outdo one another?
Outdo one another. Be fervent, right?
Yeah.
Fervent in everything we do. Not being slothful, not being lazy.
Right.
So as we look through this, like you said, mine says the same thing. It has that saying, the marks of a true Christian. And we think about your boot camp experiences, as I know, at least on the graduation day, most of the time we get that similar speech along the lines of, just make sure when you get out there that if we're to get arrested for being a Marine, is there going to be enough evidence to convict you? Are you really showing what it means, the character of being a Marine?
Right.
And I think, we look at that, of course, you're taught that throughout recruit training and boot camp for Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. They all teach those similar core values in that mind. And what we have here from Paul is the core values of what it means to be a Christian.
Right.
What are the identifying factors that make me be identified as a follower of Christ?
Right. And run the good race. That's a big
right.
And that crosses all of the different boundaries of services about the Marine Corps or the different services about the Christian. You're going to run the race and not grow weary, not grow tired. You're going to keep the faith and continue to push on. It says in 12 and further, rejoice in hope, be patient in tribulation, be constant in prayer, contribute to the needs of the saints, and to seek and show hospitality, radical hospitality. When no one else would be hospitable to you, you're hospitable anyway, because you are, what does it say? Outdoing one another to show your honor.
Right.
Right. So that is the marks of a Christian. What is, anybody know what the word sin actually is talking about? Like the word sin, not like what is sin, but what does sin mean?
Missing the mark.
Missing the mark. It's an archery term, right? And to abhor what is evil means every time you are not dead center of the bullseye, splitting your arrow, every time you hate, every time is not exactly right.
Well, a big thing about that is we have to at least stop ourselves. So where when we have those moments of, we're driving down the road, I've had a great day this morning out, doing evangelizing, blah, blah, blah. Somebody pulls out from me, you blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to stop and say, oops, where did that come from?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Did somebody bump my bow? Because I got to reset my sights.
Right. So but when you're way off target on that, it's do you make the necessary corrections to bring it back on target? Exactly.
And you have to do a lot of self-evaluation, right? Just to continue with the bow and arrow metaphor, sometimes you aim a little bit wrong. Sometimes you're twisted. Sometimes your dot placement isn't quite right. But there are so many different things that you have to line up to make sure that you are shooting straight.
Right.
And it's the same thing with the Christian walk. You've got to make sure you wake up and you're spending time in prayer. I need to get my Jesus fix on the moment that I wake up. Otherwise, my day is off. I've got to spend time in the Word right away, because if I don't, my steps are not lined up. All throughout the day, I've got to do these certain tasks that sometimes feel a little bit mundane, that sometimes feel a little bit robotic, but you keep doing it because you want to outdo one another in showing honor. Right.
Well, there's so many things that can go along with that, with the way we're trained.
Right.
The way it's really of any military, right? They're always trained to work together as a team, to work together at something, right? Not to go against individuals and necessarily, I guess, rub them the wrong way. Is that the way of putting it, I guess?
Sure. Yeah, we want to be crisp. We want to be sharp. We want to drive our heels. We want to click and snap and pop and all those things. It's a challenge. But it takes something that you say all the time. I'll repeat it again. What doesn't come naturally
must be done intentionally. Yeah. So another part of that is the accountability piece. And I say that to say, like, why do we put our uniform on the same way? Why do all Marines pack their gear the same way? Why do we do that? What's the reason behind that?
Yeah, it's well, first of all, uniformity. We
right?
like to be the same because you should not be able to tell one from another when you're facing the enemy.
But in reality, it's because I know what it's supposed to look like. And if you and I are getting ready to go out and get in this fight and held together, wait a minute, something about your gear doesn't look the same as mine.
Right.
So we can even make a correction. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
We look at other people and we see those little missing things that are not the same as the way ours is.
Yeah, you don't have your tourniquet in your breast pocket. What's going to happen if you need it?
Right. I don't know how to find it. Right.
Right.
But the biggest part of that is always making sure we're always prepared to have the back of each other, to hold each other accountable in that way, and to protect. It's a way of protection. I mean, it really does. I would rather you tell me than for God to tell me.
Yeah, because when we close with and engage the enemy, we need to have all our gear ready to go.
Right.
All of our training ready to go. All of our brothers and sisters in arms, shoulder to shoulder, with us, ready to go.
Watching your back.
Exactly.
Watching those blind spots.
Yeah.
Why do we always say have a battle buddy?
Right. Because you never want to go alone.
Right.
You got to have somebody watching your back.
always got to have somebody to watch your back because we all have blind spots.
Same way that Jesus sent out 2 by 2.
Mm-hmm.
And the same way that we hope you guys go out this weekend 2 by 2.
2 by 2, right.
To have each other's back.
So it's just, I think it's very, very important to understand as we go into Veterans Day weekend that if you don't have someone that you can talk to, if there's not a friend that you have,
call us,
comment,
Good
call
Lord.
us, hit anything on Facebook, reach out to us. We are more than happy to bring you in and have you as a guest, or just come out and have a bonfire with us because we enjoy just having those conversations,
right?
And expressing to others the importance of once you get out of the military, once you're no longer there, and you're walking with Christ, the importance of having that one
Bible
person
buddy.
that's always going to hold you accountable to God's word. Just like you had that guy who was like, "You're not going out like that in your Charlie shirt, are you?"
Right? Yeah.
Your ribbons. No,
Hey,
you need
dude.
to fix that, right?
You need to put a belt on.
Right.
Put a belt on them trousers.
Right. But we need that in our Christian walk too. To say sometimes we need to stop and say, you know what, we need to work on this a little bit about you.
Uh-huh.
Let's get you back on track with Christ.
That's right. All right. Well, once again, guys, happy Marine Corps birthday. 249 years is nothing to be scoffed at.
You did say Brett had to sing.
I did. I
Yeah.
said I volunteered Brad to sing us
The Marine Corps
hymn.
All three
stanzas
Stanzas.
for sure. Listen, he's warming up.
from.
Before he does
Moss?
that, though.
It sounds like the mic's cutting out.
Mike
Oh,
must
no.
be cutting out. Oh no.
Tried. I really did.
Yeah, happy birthday, Marines. Happy Veterans Day, everybody. All of you who serve. Thank you for your service. We do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And remember,
Don't keep the faith.
give it away.